Chapter 84, Broken Dishes. After the ashram and finding myself, I came to Artem for the weekend feeling uplifted. I dreamed I could come back, we'd get a dog, I'd devote time to family, stop working so much, everything would be fine. I was doing 3 hours of practices a day, breathing, shaking, rocking the inner child. 3 hours a day, every day. I was certain I'm ready. It lasted 50 minutes. He shoved me, screamed, insulted me, then smashed all the dishes, wrecked the kitchen, everything he could get his hands on, plates, cups, glasses, the sound of breaking dishes, like grandmother's voice, sharp, sudden, making everything inside clench. Before I would have stopped him, grabbed him, pinned him to the floor by force, or screamed back, in that same grandmother's voice that made me shudder for hours afterward, or run to the bathroom and sat there shaking. But this time, for the first time, I didn't stop him. Simply removed from the danger zone anything that could hurt, and stood nearby, silent, not angry, not screaming, not clenching my teeth. All my practices helped. 3 months of breathing, kundalini, meditations, talking to the inner child. 3 months I taught the body not to react the old way, and the body obeyed for the first time. He wrecked everything and stopped, not because I stopped him, because he ran out of fuel, because for the first time an adult stood nearby who didn't answer fire with fire, who didn't become another source of screaming, who simply was. Then I explained to him, calmly, as never before, you were probably angry at me, for living apart from you, for leaving, for the small apartment instead of a house with a pool. You have the right to be angry. You're in pain. I see that. He cried. The next day the episode repeated. I held steady again. Then I fell apart. Not him. Me. I crumbled inside, as if I'd held a building on my back while he was smashing. And when he left, the building collapsed on me. For a month I couldn't see him, couldn't visit, cried for hours, couldn't work. The part that held let go, and underneath it was empty. Vanya added to it, said, you've been doing your practices for a month and a half and there's no result. You're just as bad. Go to the gym, do a cold plunge, get a hobby, and everything will be fine. What you're doing is all crap. I sat and cried and tried to kill the hope that I'd ever return to that house, because I didn't want to come where I get screamed at. I was tired of reviving this hope, wanted to kill it for good, but didn't know how to live without it. And then, a month later, something happened that I didn't expect. They prescribed him medication after that incident, and it started helping. For the first time, we'd tried everything over 4 years. On the weekend, when Vanya was building a sauna and I had to be with Artem, he didn't scream once. Not once. Before we had this, 1 day in 3 months, he doesn't scream. 1 day without screaming was a good day, a holiday. We marked it internally, the way you mark remission. And here, 2 days in a row, Vanya saw changes too throughout that month. And what struck me most wasn't the medication. The medication helped, but the coincidence was too precise. Things started changing when I started working on myself, and when I allowed him to do what he was doing. Not stopped, not screamed, not run away, just allowed. As if for 10 years he had been waiting not for my control, not for my screaming, not for my instructions and correct words from books. He was waiting for an adult to stand beside him who wouldn't crumble from his pain, who could endure, without answering fire with fire. Of course, I need more days like that to stop being afraid to come and spend time with him. This isn't healing yet. This is the first exhale after 10 years of holding your breath. But he didn't scream. 2 days. And that was like a miracle. A small, quiet, ugly miracle, preceded by broken dishes and a month when I couldn't get off the floor.